Stacy, I'm Sheila.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You are in first appearance court. Today you're going to be informed of the charges, and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial date. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Thanks, Willie. Everything is being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. You have a right to attorney. There's a public defender at the main jail, Mr. Romero. And we have Mr. Reedy over here to my right in the courtroom. If you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. We're going to start calling a couple cases at a turn. The first case is going to be Pierre Dufour on page 9 of the docket.
He's approaching Judge. He's here. Main municipal in this case, Judge.
All right. Okay, good morning, Mr. Dufour. How are you? All right, sir. You have sleeping on a public street. Good morning. How are you? You have sleeping on a public street or sidewalk, sir. This is Pierre Dufour, page 9 of the docket, Madam Clerk. You're welcome. You have a no-show at arraignment, so the court issued a capias. Bond is set at $100. Would you like to resolve your case today, sir?
Yes.
All right. Let me ask you this. Are you homeless, sir?
Yes.
All right. Would you like to get some type of assistance and maybe go to a program that looks for housing for you and tries to help you?
Yes.
Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yes.
All right, it's totally voluntary. It's the Central Receiving Center in Henderson. It's a nice program. And you go there, you can take a shower, they'll clean your clothes, they'll give you new clothes if you need them, and they'll try to find housing for you. It's totally voluntary. Okay, and they'll pick you up at the main jail. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth? Do you swear? You do? Is your name Pierre Dufour? Dufour?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. It's my understanding you wish to waive your right to an attorney and trial?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication, sir?
No.
All right. How do you wish to plead to sleeping on a public street or sidewalk?
No contest.
The court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. The court is going to adjudicate you and time serve you, pose $78 in court costs, and the court is going to have you released at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay, sir? And they'll take you over to the Central Receiving Center. All right? Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. All right. Just make a copy.
Judge, I'm sorry, we changing the time, right? Are we changing it to 11 or leaving it at 9?
I can't hear you, Sheila.
You said you was going to change the time. You're going to change it to
speak
11?
David Sharp. We've been making it. We went back to the 9 o'clock. I have to confirm it with them, okay?
Okay, so we're going to keep it at 9 for now.
Yeah, for now. Okay, next one we're going to call out of turn is Vincent Scanlon. It's page 12 of the docket, please.
He's approaching Judge municipal in this case.
All right. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Scanlon, you have an open container, City of Pompano Beach. You actually have a capias. You failed to appear before Judge Hurley on May 3rd. Judge Hurley set the bond at $250. Would you like to resolve your case today, or do you want to pay the bond, or what would you like to do, sir?
Yes, I'd like to resolve the case.
All right, you understand. Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Are you homeless, or do you have a place to live?
Semi-homeless.
All right, do you want to go to the Central Receiving Center? Really a nice place. You only stay there you can leave whenever you want. They'll pick you up from the main jail tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., sir. It's up to you. They do help you find housing. You can take a shower, they wash your clothes, they give you something to eat, you can watch TV, you can call anybody you want. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
All right, do you want to resolve your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Vincent Leo Scanlon?
Yes.
Scanlon?
Yes.
All right, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to an attorney and trial, sir. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you to do this?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. How do you wish to plead to open container, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Okay, the court is going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court's going to adjudicate you, time serve you, impose court costs of $78, sir. The court is going to release you, and they are going to pick you up from the main jail to the Central Receiving Center. It's totally voluntary, and that'll be 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, sir? Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Next one we're calling out of turn is James Roberts, page 12 of the docket.
Thank you, Judge. He's approaching, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Roberts, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, ma'am.
All right. Sir, you have one count of resisting an officer or obstructing without violence, $100 bond. You have count 2, trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. There's actually no bond attached to that, so it's essentially an ROR. And the same thing for count 3. The court does find probable cause. The court is going to order no return, sir, to the McDonald's and the Davies Supermarket. McDonald's is located at 4295 Davie Road Extension, Davie, Florida, and the Davies Supermarket is located, sir, I want you to listen to me, because I want to make sure you understand. And you're not to return to the Davies Supermarket, 7110 Sterling Road, Davie, Florida. Do you understand?
Do you understand you can't go back there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand if you go back there, you're going to be arrested.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so what are we doing with this, folks?
Your Honor, the state's offer is 10 days jail. You just advised him last week not to go back to Davies Supermarket. He pled out a case last week, was released last Thursday, actually. This is his 4th arrest since, I'm sorry, this is his 5th arrest since February 24th, either at the Davies Supermarket or in that vicinity, all for trespassing, Your Honor. And also noting in the report, it's mentioned by the owner that he's either harassing or threatening customers when he goes there.
It says Roberts on a daily basis and throughout the day harasses and threatens customers and staff. Adjudication 10 days, Broward County Jail.
Judge, unfortunately, Mr. Roberts is homeless. He has no financial means to post a monetary bond. Judge, I was talking to him as far as that homeless assistance shelter that I believe the court has visited. Would Your Honor be inclined to allow him to go to that program, and you could sign an order having him released tomorrow at 9 in the morning?
No, 10 days, Broward County Jail, credit for time served. If he wants to help himself, he can go to the program after that.
How many days is that already?
That would be 10. Hold on one second, Judge. Judge, he wishes to accept at this time the state's offer.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is your name's James Clayton Roberts, Roberts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial for these 3 charges, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication? Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication? No?
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
And medication.
Okay, then let the judge know.
Yeah, medication.
All right, does your medication affect your ability to understand what's going on here today, sir?
No.
When's the last time you took your medication?
2 days ago.
Okay. All right, you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this charge will result in deportation proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you can't return to this McDonald's at the address I just gave you and the Davy supermarket?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and if you keep going back there, it's just gonna keep escalating with the days in jail time. You understand that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me ask you this. After your release, would you like to go to the Central Receiving Center? It's a voluntary place, it's part of Henderson. They'll pick you up from the jail. It's voluntary. You can take a shower, you'll get your clothes cleaned. They'll give you new clothes if you need them. You can call anybody, and they'll try to find you a place to live, sir, and offer you services. Is it something
Where's
you'd
that at?
want to do? It's in, where is it? It's in Lauderdale Lakes off of 441, State Road 7.
So they come get me tomorrow?
No, they'll come get you in 10 days when you get released, if you're serious about helping yourself. Is it something you'd like to do? If you don't, that's fine. But I'm just offering it to you because it appears that you're homeless and you need assistance. So is that something you'd like to do?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So how do you wish to plead to resisting an officer without violence and 2 counts of trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner?
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Court's going to adjudicate you and impose 10 days Broward County Jail on each count to run concurrent. Court is going to impose $293 in court costs. You're not to return to the McDonald's and Davies supermarket at the address listed in the police report and the addresses that I mentioned earlier. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, sir. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Did I say that that was with credit for time served? If not, I'm saying it now, okay? All right, next one out of turn is going to be Mark Orphan, page 17 of the docket.
Please approach, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Orphan. How are you?
Good morning, Mark.
All right, sir, you have possession of oxycodone, Percocan, or Percocet, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possession of drug paraphernalia, possess and or use. There's no bond attached to that. You do have a violation of probation, sir, where you do have a no bond hold. You have a capious misdemeanor where you have a $250 bond. And you have another probation violation, sir, where you have a no bond hold. For the felony, you are going to court on May 10th, which is this Thursday, sir, before Judge Michael Rothschild at 8:30 a.m. And then on the capious misdemeanor, you are going to court on May 14th before Judge Lerner Wren in Division MT at 2 p.m. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. Count one appears to be a residue charge. I would imagine that the state ultimately will file it as a drug paraphernalia charge. I think there's probable cause to support 2 of those charges, but I would ask the court to set bond commiserate with what we would expect the state attorney's office to do and reduce it from $1,000.
Okay, tell me what you'd like me to set it at. What's your request?
$1.
Okay, state?
Your Honor, I think more than a $1 bond is appropriate.
Tell me what
Regardless
you're
of charge,
asking for then.
Your Honor, I'd ask for a $500 bond considering he's on probation for robbery of the firearm.
Okay, all right. $499 bond, and on count 4, $249. Good luck to you, sir. Next one is going to be Todd Cummings on page 18 of the docket.
He's approaching, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Cummings. How are you?
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Okay. All right, sir, you have a possession of heroin, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 3 is possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is drug paraphernalia, possess and/or use $100 bond. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court does find probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the $2,200 in bond? Defense?
Yes, Judge, and speaking of Mr. Cummings, he's advised me to ask the court to request an ROR.
I would love to get back to work, my job that I just have, like, I can't lose my job. I'm a good kid, I'm not a flight risk, I have court coming up soon,
That's
Where do
what he
you
told
work,
me,
sir?
Judge.
Boardwalk.
Okay. Do you live at 811 Northwest 30th Court, Wilton Manors, Florida?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state what's his priors and your recommendation, please.
Your Honor, I'm showing, one moment, that I'd be opposing an ROR. I'm showing that he was arrested April 25th of this year, and he's out on bond for possession of heroin. Additionally, he has 2 warrants out of the state of Pennsylvania for failing to appear in court. He also has priors out of Pennsylvania, felony drug possession, 2016.
Was found not guilty.
On some of the charges, he was convicted on one.
Okay, tell me what he was convicted of.
Paraphernalia.
Sir, let the state do their job, okay?
I'm
And
showing,
your attorney, Mr. Romero, will do his, I assure you.
thank you. I'm showing violation of the Controlled Substance, Drug, and Cosmetic Act.
When
He
was
pled
that?
January 5th, 2016. He pled guilty, sentenced to 3 months, looks like some type of program. He also had a retail theft, 2015. And looks like one of the warrants is from February 2017 for manufacture, delivery, or possession with intent, controlled substance out of Lackawanna County.
All right, so your response to the defense?
Your Honor, at a minimum, I'm asking that the bonds be kept in place, considering even when you take away all the stuff out of Pennsylvania, he's out on the same offense on a $1,000 bond just from a couple weeks ago.
Gonna lose his job.
Judge, the job, he just got the job. He's making about $5 plus tips. He's in a position now where he's actually helping his roommate with rent. He's paying about $100 a week, and that's thanks to his new employment. Judge, I know he's out on a case, but they are nonviolent in nature. What's before you is nonviolent in nature. Mr. Cummings is respectfully asking a straight ROR.
Okay, this is what the court's gonna do. $1,000 bond on 1, count 2, the court will ROR, count 3, the court's gonna make the bond $500, and count 4, the court is going to ROR. However, the court is gonna put him on standard pretrial release. He's to report in 24 hours. He's not to have any alcohol intoxicants, and the court is gonna have random testing at his expense. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Michael Rostock.
Who's the next gentleman you called, Judge?
Michael Rostock, he's on page 20 of the docket, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Mr. Rostock, how are you this morning, sir?
All right, so
Fine, thanks. Sir, you have a grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond is set at $100. The court does find probable cause. The court is going to order no return, sir, to the Home Depot located at 1000 Northeast 4th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Do you understand, sir?
yeah,
All right.
Your Honor, you found probable cause?
Yes, ma'am.
Jackson from pretrial, Your Honor. Good morning. This client, this new charge violates his conditions of arrest, conditions of pretrial. Case number 18-428 CF10A. These new charges violate his conditions of pretrial, where he's under possession of cocaine, possession of fentanyl, and possession of U47700.
Okay, so what is his case number? 18 what?
18-428 CF10A. find out when he was placed on pretrial.
All right, can I see your order?
I apologize.
Thank you.
Forgive me. Thank you.
All right, so this is what the court's gonna do. The court is gonna revoke his pretrial and set bond on the possession of cocaine, fentanyl, and the possession of U-4700 or 47700. And the court is gonna set bond at, how do I do it for the 3 different counts?
You can either, it's up to you, Your Honor, you can either put all 3 no bond or 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
count
Court's
1.
gonna set bond at $500.
You can put $5 each,
Per
Your Honor.
count.
Yes, that's perfect.
All right,
Is it $500 each count, Judge?
each count, $1,500 total.
Judge,
Okay.
would you consider 1,500 on count 1 and then ROR counts 2 and 3?
No, 500 each count, okay?
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do.
Thank
On
you, Your
the
Honor.
grand theft. You wanna be heard further, Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge, because right now, Mr. Rostick advised me he can't financially post bond right now. He's not working. What he does is when he can, he works for a day laborer and he gets about $60 a day. He's right now unfortunately homeless, but he does have a mailing address, and that's in Plantation. Judge, I understand that Your Honor, right now revoked his pretrial on the outstanding case I was out on. I don't know if Your Honor would be inclined to, on his new offense, lower the bond, because now he's gonna have to try and contact whoever he can to see if they can come up with the $1,500, which is now set on his open case.
Go ahead, Mr. Linder.
Your Honor, I just don't think
I saw you looking, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I just wanted to wait my turn, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Your Honor, let's just check one other thing.
Or take your time. Okay, this you can put on the side. And I'll put those 2 orders.
Wrong place.
Your Honor, is this Mr. Rostock?
Yes, R-O-S-T-O-C-K, page, what is it, page 20, Michelle? Page 20.
Thank you. From what I can tell, and I don't know if this was, I don't know if this was mentioned, I apologize if it was already. He's actually on felony probation also before Judge Rothschild for criminal mischief. He had a prior possession of cocaine. I mean, I think the aggravating factors really outweigh any mitigating factors for any justification of the defense's request for a reduction in bond.
All right, this is what, anything further, Mr. Romero? $500
Judge, Mr. Rothschild
bond,
is
standard
financially-
pretrial release. $500 bond, standard pretrial release. He's to report to pretrial within 24 hours. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a private attorney, Luis Fernando Arisquesada. I hope I said that right.
Page 15. Good morning, Your Honor. How are you? Adam Rossin on behalf of Mr. Aris Caseta.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
see you.
Judge. Same.
Okay, so how do you say your client's last name again?
It's Aris Caseta.
Okay, Mr. Luis Aris Caseta. Good morning, sir. You have 1 count of failure to stop or remain in an accident involving a serious injury. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor. I've spoken with the state, and I believe we have an agreement as far as the bond is concerned.
All right, the court does find probable cause. Can you just spell your last name? I'm sorry.
Sure. Rossin, R-O-S-S-E-N.
S-S-E-N.
2 S's.
Okay, I didn't know if it was
I
2
know.
or 1. Thank you. All right, so state, what's the agreement that we have?
Your Honor, it's going to be a $7,500 bond, and one thing we didn't discuss, but I'm sure Mr. Rossman would have an objection. I'm going to be requesting no victim contact.
Of course.
And victim with the initials EA, Your Honor. And I provided Mr. Rossman with a copy of probable cause where it's not redacted, so he can provide that information to Mr. Aris Casada.
All right, and the defense, that's what your agreement is, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so, $7,500 bond, no victim contacts, sir, direct or indirect, and I want everybody at the main jail to listen up to what direct or indirect means, because I'm gonna ask you if you know what it is when you step up. Direct or indirect contact, sir, means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, nothing through social media, liking, disliking anything, and no contact through third parties, and that doesn't include you, obviously, Mr. Rosen. So, $7,500 bond, no victim contact. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. You're welcome. All right, next one is Casey Christopher Dune. I can't hear you, Mr. Romero.
What page is that?
That's the normal.
Page one.
Oh, one.
We're back to the regular docket. Okay. All right, are you Mr. Casey Dunn, sir?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have an out-of-state hold out of Connecticut for a violation of probation for grand theft. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesdays or Thursdays at 1 p.m. Okay, sir, good luck to you. Next one is Ryan Michael Bergin, B-E-R-G-I-N.
Medical reset.
Okay. Next one is Amy Badir, B-E-D-I-R.
She's in North Broward, Judge. This is a municipal ordinance case that she would like to resolve.
Judge, she was in custody when the capias was issued.
All right, well, this is an ad charge. It's loitering or soliciting. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
This is an ad charge. It's loitering, soliciting, or prostitution. The capias was issued for $100. So what I'm gonna do is I can either do, I don't know, what's charge one?
Tampering with evidence, Your Honor.
What's her bond? Do you want a $1 bond or?
She's on a no bond hold.
She has a no bond hold on count one. I did discuss the ramifications as they relate to count one. Ms. Badir indicated to me she would like to resolve this case today if possible.
Okay, Ms. Badir, you do have a no bond hold and this could affect your other case.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can do a $1 bond where you're getting credit for time served.
Okay,
Better than resolving it, okay?
okay.
All right. All right, so court will set bond at $1. Defendant has no bond hold on count one. What's count one again?
It's a tampering with evidence charge, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Good luck.
All right, next one is Irina Flores, please.
North Broward.
All right. Irina Flores. Good morning, Ms. Flores. How are you this morning?
Yes, Princess Irina Hanover, CIA, United States Government. Irina Flores, CIA.
Okay, ma'am, you have 2 counts of touch or strike battery. Count 3 is resisting an officer without violence, bond set at 1,000 and 1,000. On
I'm
counts
the
1 and 2.
victim. I'm the owner of Starbucks. They attacked me. They have HIV/AIDS. I told them 7 times. The terrorists, they can be on the place. And they attacked me when I saw them. They inside Starbucks again. Robbing the store. I'm open the Starbucks.
Your Honor, I think Ms. Flores would be a very good candidate for Judge Lerner Wren's courtroom.
I'm checking to see if, I'm texting her right now to see. I'm texting her right now to see if she'll take it. She won't necessarily take it.
We're gonna send her over to Lerner Wren.
Okay, ma'am, there's no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims with the
Okay.
initials A.T. and
Bye.
They're
S.W.
robbing $10,000 on my jewelry, my bag, my purse, kidnapping my kid, extortion.
Okay, let me see what I can find out. Give me 1 second.
Bond's gonna be
With
set on
Jorge
count 1 and 2
Jorge
at $998 per
December
count.
12, 1950, and Karen Margarita Aragon Flores Mayorga.
I don't know if I mentioned it, Judge, but I am also going to ask the court to authorize our office to take photographs of Ms. Flores. But other than that, I'm advised that she will talk until we're done talking.
No, I'm waiting for Mr.,
Okay.
waiting for
Okay.
Mr.
I'm United States government.
Okay, ma'am, we're gonna recall your case. Have a seat. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Should we proceed to the next one, or wait?
Sure, yeah, I just sent the text.
The last one.
So let me know, and
I-
then we'll recall her till we can get her back,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? No, not yet.
What's she doing with this one? She gonna be calling, waiting for her.
Gotta wait back to see if she'll take the case.
on that. Okay.
It's the battery. Lisa Rutledge, please. Trespassing, occupied structure, or conveyance. Lisa Rutledge, please.
Rutledge is a medical reset, Your Honor.
Okay. Medical reset it is. Nicole Magliori.
Bond was posted.
Judge, I'm being informed she's on her way.
She is. I do want to tell her if she is. Even
I'm
though-
being advised by the deputies that I guess the bond was not.
I'd like to tell her no return to St. Gregory's Catholic Church and School.
She's coming. She's coming, Judge.
Okay.
So we'll put her on recall.
Recall, okay. All right, next one is Diane Falman, please, or Fallman.
She's approaching, Judge.
Thank
Come on up,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Falman. You are charged with one count DUI, alcohol or drugs. This is your second offense, $1,000 bond. DUI with an unlawful blood alcohol level greater than .15, $1,000 bond. And then you have count 3, which is not really for bond court. It's unlawful speed. So that's a civil traffic infraction. The court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $2,000 bond or any special conditions?
Judge, yes, and speaking of Ms. Fallman, we're going to be requesting that Your Honor consider releasing her on pre-trial release. I'll let the state go if they have an objection, Judge.
I don't have an objection with conditions of no alcohol, intoxicants, and random testing.
The defense has no objection to that, Judge.
Okay, standard pretrial release. She's to report within 24 hours. No alcohol or intoxicants, ma'am. Random testing at your expense, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give her the map right now, how to get there, Judge.
I said when I put it in the store, I don't have to just come in.
Judge, the person that was on recall is on her way. Miss Nicole Magdalene.
Hello.
My title is registered nurse, and I'm a doctor nurse. So my name is Nicole, yes, Queen Nicole Mac.
Judge, Miss
And
Magdalene.
also my end in New York.
You're in New York.
It's 516
516
328
328
9236.
It was corrected, her miss is saying that. 89630.
Okay, Ms. Magliori, you have trespassed school grounds. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to St. Gregory Catholic Church and School, and that is located at, State, I don't see an address here.
One moment, Your Honor.
Maybe, Michelle, you can Google it. Okay, is
Looks
her
like-
address 2440 Northwest 81st Terrace, Sunrise? St. Gregory's Catholic Church and School.
I think the address there is 200 North University.
It's 200, ma'am. 200
Northwest 81 Terrace,
Northwest
Miss.
81st.
200 North University Drive.
81 Terrace,
and this is on Sunrise, Florida.
Sunrise,
Plantation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
33322.
The Golden Villas, the Golden West Villas.
Okay. Judge, she gave me her mailing address as 2440 Northwest 81st Terrace in Sunrise.
That's what I have.
3322, okay, so perfect.
Perfect, thank you. All right, ma'am, you're not to return to St. Gregory's Catholic Church and School located at 200 North University Drive, Plantation, Florida. If you return there, ma'am, you'll be arrested. Sheila, is her bond posting, or what's the situation?
See if we could verify with them, because what happened, she tried to post a bond and it didn't go through. So she was coming to magistrate, and then I got another email.
She
tried to post the
Lori?
20, I think it was $25.
Okay, did she
Okay.
post the $25? What happened?
And then, before I came to court, they sent me another email and said that she posted the bond. But
Can you find
now
out,
it
Mr.
says
Romero?
pending trial, so yes, if you give me 1 second.
Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge.
I'm
Did
calling
your
them
client
again.
post the bond?
Inquiry.
They had asked me for Nicole McClure. Is her bond actually posted, the $25? The show posted, then they asked me for the file. They emailed me. Ask Hardy. Hardy the one sent me the email.
Judge, from what my understanding from Magmore, she does not believe she's done, she didn't post her bond yet. So I don't know what information.
Okay, all right. Okay, it was voided.
Huh?
It was voided. It's not posted.
Why was it voided?
Apparently she didn't have the money, but they said it was voided and they put it back in as $25. So,
Okay, does she have money on her property, Mr. Romero?
Excuse me, Judge, I'm sorry.
Does Ms. Magliori have $25 in her property?
Judge, she don't. That's why she couldn't self-bond.
Mr. Romero, I'm hearing from confinement,
She
didn't have the money.
Judge, I'm not getting a clear answer, Judge.
All right, so what are we doing with this, folks?
I was thinking Judge Lerner around.
Judge,
I'm innocent, and I have.
All right, let's
Judge,
refer her to
my
Judge
understanding
Wren.
is, I believe the area that the allegations claim that she was, this is the church. From what she's advising me, I guess she was actually picking something up from the church. She's adamant as far as her innocence, that's what she's telling me. But I believe this might be a candidate to go to Lerner Wren, Judge.
That's what we were just saying. All right, so let's transfer it to Judge Wren. Thank you. Leave a $25 bond in place. Next one is Melanie Renee Mahfouz.
Medical reset.
Darlene Joseph.
No problem.
Okay, are you Miss Joseph, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, you have count 1, trafficking scheduled drug, 1B, 2A, need it in 1 moment. 3C3-C4 drug, 4 gram, between 4 and 14 grams. Bond is set at $75,000. Count 2 is tamper with or fabricate physical evidence, $1,000 bond. Possession of cocaine is $1,000 bond. Count 4 is resisting an officer without violence, $100 bond. Count 5, possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. You do have a probation violation for fraudulent use of ID, which you have a no bond hold on that. You are going before your division judge, Judge Dennis Bailey, on May 14th, which is a week from, this coming Monday at 8:30 a.m. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor, but I would like to address the bond on count one.
Okay, court does find probable cause. Let's talk about bond.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to place a $25,000 bond on Ms. Joseph. I'm aware she has no bond hold on count six, but she has been a resident of South Florida for her entire life. She's been living with her mother for the last 18 years, and that is where she would return. She has given me the number of 2 friends that I can call to see what they can do about getting her some commissary. Hopefully, when she goes in front of her judge on the 14th, maybe something could be done, and that bond might be a little bit more reachable for her friends and family at that time. I don't think she has the worst criminal history. She does attend Sheridan Technical Center, and she is studying culinary arts.
State,
Your Honor, I'm asking that the court keep the standard bond in place. She was placed on probation on count 6 literally just over 2 months ago. So she hasn't been on probation but 2 months, where she's now before the court with an allegation of violating based on a first-degree felony that is punishable by a 3-year minimum mandatory prison sentence if convicted.
anything further, anybody?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, 50,000 on count 1. Counts 2 and 3 are $999 each. Counts 4 and 5 are $99 each. You'll see Dennis Bailey, May 14th, 8:30 a.m. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Antonisi Nair, please. Antonisi Nair.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here at me.
Thank you. All right. Hello, Ms. Nair. Good morning. You have one count of grand theft between $300 and $5,000. The court does find probable cause. The court is going to order no return to Dillard's, located at 11965 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, anybody want to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond, Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge. And speaking of Ms. Nair, unfortunately at this time, her phone is in property. However, her phone is not charged, so she's not in a position to contact anybody. I'd be asking you to consider releasing her pretrial release. I'll see if the state has an objection.
I have no objection.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put her, no return, ma'am, to the Dillard, you understand? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and the second thing is standard pretrial release. You're to report within 24 hours of being released. Is your address 6561 Pines Parkway, Hollywood, Florida?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. If you change your address, it's your responsibility to notify the court and your attorney in writing with your case number, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next person is going to be Zakia Jones.
Ms. Jones is approaching, Judge.
All right, this is the co-defendant, correct?
Correct.
All right. Court does find probable cause, ma'am. You're charged with one count of grand theft between $300 and $5,000. There's no return to the Dillards. You know which one that is, ma'am? The one on Pembroke Pines Boulevard, 11965 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, bond set at 1,000. Anybody wish to be heard?
Yes, Judge. We're going to be requesting pretrial release. I'll see if the state has an objection.
State,
I apologize, Your Honor. What was the,
standard pretrial release. This is Zakia Jones. It's the co-defendant.
no objection.
Okay. Standard pretrial release.
Your Honor, before we go on to the next case,
Sure, just let me finish writing.
Sure.
Give me 1 moment.
As soon as you get released.
Okay, go ahead.
If
Wanna
we
take
could-
one at a turn?
no. If we could possibly put Ms. Flores to the afternoon docket, here's what's going on. on a case like this, with battery charges, she can go to Judge Lerner Wren, but they need victim consent. And I don't need to do anything formal, it's just a matter of me calling them to see if they have any issues with that.
Well, there's 2 victims, actually.
Yeah, and I'll call both of them, but might be difficult during court to do that.
Okay, so let's reset for the PM docket. Okay, let me go to North Broward.
Thank you.
North Broward, can I have a deputy, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, thanks.
Irina Flores, we're gonna reset her till this afternoon. We have to check into a couple things, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. All right, Wanisha Aslina Grant, please.
Medical reset, Judge.
Medical reset.
Okay. All right, next one is Kayla Megan Miller, please.
She's also medical reset.
Patty Dawkins.
North Broward.
Okay, is your name Patty Dauphin, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, good morning, ma'am. You have count 1, petty theft, 2nd degree, first offense. There's no bond attached to that. Count 2 is resisting an officer without violence. That's just a $100 bond. And then you have count 3, a violation for probation for a felony. You do have a no bond hold. That's for a felony petty theft in front of Judge Lynch. The court is going to order no return to the Publix,
Okay.
located at 9359 Sheridan Street in Cooper City. If you return there, ma'am, what do you think happens?
I go to jail.
You get arrested, that's right. So please do not return to the Publix at 9359 Sheridan Street, Cooper City.
Okay.
All right? The court does
Okay.
find probable cause. Can you afford the $100 bond?
Yes.
All right, so we'll leave the bond as it is, and we'll actually make it $99 because you do have the no bond hold. I don't know when you're going before your division judge. Does anybody know?
I looked it up on Odyssey, Judge. As I advised Ms. Dalpin, no date has been set as of this time.
Okay. Okay, so $199 bond. What count, Ms. Jackson? Count 2. Okay? Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. The next one is Ronnie Schumann, please. Ronnie Schumann.
Mr. Schumann's here present?
Okay. All right, good morning, Mr. Schumann.
Good morning.
All right, sir, you have count 1, false ID given to a law enforcement officer, $100 bond. Count 2 is a KPS traffic, driving while license is suspended. Bond is $250. You are going before your division judge, Judge Pohl, on May 11th, and that will be this coming Friday at 9 a.m. on the KPS traffic. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to probable cause or a $350 bond?
Judge, as far as the bond, it's being Mr. Schumann, he wishes to ask the court if you would consider resolving this case at a different time, Sheriff.
Okay, state.
State's offered me a withhold court cost on 1 and 2.
Withholding court costs on 1 and 2.
Accept the state's offer, Judge?
All right, sir, if you're kind enough to raise your right hand, do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Ronnie Schumann, S-H-U-M-A-N?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial in both these cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
All right, how do you wish to plead to fraud impersonating a false ID given to a law enforcement officer and driving while license is suspended, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that if you get, and I don't know where you are in the scheme of things, but that if you get 3 convictions of driving while license is suspended within a 5-year period, the Driver's License Bureau will revoke your license for a period of 5 years, and you'll be as a habitual traffic offender. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, still considering that, you still want to keep your plea of no contest to driving while license is suspended?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to accept your plea and the false ID, and that Driving while license is suspended. Fine that's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Court's going to withhold adjudication. Is this 2 cases, Mrs. Jackson, or 1? 2 cases? Okay, withholding court costs on 1 and 2, $293. On 1, $293 in court costs on count 2. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you, okay? You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you. Next one is Stanley Rivers, please.
Mr. Rivers?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Rivers. Nice to meet you, sir. You have count 1, leaving the scene of a crash involving damage to property, $100 bond. You have count 2, driving while license is suspended, second offense. There's no bond attached to that, so it's essentially an ROR. You have count 3, driver presents non-current proof of insurance, which is basically an ROR as well. And then you have failure to display vehicle registration. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
The court does find probable cause. The court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case, with the initials JF. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $100 bond? Can you afford that, sir?
Judge, in speaking to Rivers, unfortunately, nobody's going to be able to post his bond. The person he lives with is his grandmother in West Park, but she receives Social Security. She's elderly, so he does not believe she'll be able to afford to post the bond. We'd ask you to consider an ROR on Mr. Rivers' behalf. He does have a record, but I believe it's been a year since he had contact with the system. Judge, he is working, so that's why we're asking for an ROR.
Does he live at 4407 Southwest 19th Street, West Park?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does he have any money in his property?
I have my property, ma'am.
All right, what does he do for a living?
Landscaping, Judge. He's been doing that for now 2 years. He averages about $50 a day doing landscaping, Judge.
Okay, State.
Your Honor, at a minimum, I'd be requesting pretrial. Based on the nature of the offense, he was arrested on a failure to appear on a murder charge last year. It ended up being dismissed. My concern is that he failed to appear. He's been to prison in the past. He has a warrant out of Dade County right now for failing to appear on a DWLS.
Okay, I'll leave the choice with you, Mr. Romero. $100 bond, standard pretrial release, your choice. Next one after this. Okay, so pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am. God bless.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Alex Joseph Vican. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right, good. You have trespass to structure or conveyance. You have Judge Hurley issued a $1,000 bond. You failed to appear for court. What are we doing with this?
Your Honor,
Mr. Vican is adamant as far as his innocence. He was telling me the details. Unfortunately, I told him today is not his trial day. Judge, he's going to want to fight these allegations, so he's not going to resolve it. Judge, he's going to try and post bond. I don't know if he'll be able to come up with the full amount. I don't know. Considering it's a trespass nonviolent, would Your Honor consider reducing it to a $100 bond?
What city is this Wawa? I'm trying to look at this. Is this?
no, this wasn't, Your Honor, that's where they arrested him on the capias. It didn't involve, this involved a,
So where's the trespass on this?
one moment, Judge. This was a Pompano Health and Rehab at 51 West Sample.
Pompano. Sorry.
It's okay.
And rehab. Okay, give me the address.
51 West Sample Road in Deerfield.
Deerfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Romero, I'm sorry.
Judge, Mr. Viken, I guess right now he's having a change of heart, and he's instructing me to ask the court if you would consider resolving the case for time served this morning.
Your Honor, I don't have an offer. There's a lot of moving parts here, and this may be an ongoing investigation. Just so the court's aware, what led to this investigation was Mr. Viken's father resides at this health and rehab, I believe. And initially, the officer was called based on a possible exploitation of the elderly. The concern from employees there was that Mr. Viken was using his father's Social Security benefits. There wasn't enough evidence at that time for the officer to make any kind of arrest on that, but he was previously trespass warned. So he issued him an NTA for the trespass, Your Honor. But because of these additional moving parts and just my lack of familiarity with everything going on, I'm unable to make an offer at this time.
All right, does he have an address?
Do you have an address?
No, I'm homeless.
Judge, unfortunately,
All right, the court has concerns. I agree with the state. I'm not gonna be able to resolve it. No return, sir, to the Pompano Health and Rehab, 51 West Sample Road, Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Curious. Thank you for calling back.
And you can have contact with your father over the phone. I'm not gonna prohibit that. But court's gonna keep the $1,000 bond in place. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Frank Antonio Miles, please. Come on up, Mr. Miles.
Judge, Mr. Miles, is your present to find the service of public defender.
All right, good morning, Mr. Miles. How are you?
Ma'am, I'm doing good, and you?
Fine, thanks. Sir, you have stalking, follow, harass, cyber stalk another, and we need to talk about bond on that. And count 2 is trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. There is no bond attached to that. The court does find probable cause. The court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the 2 alleged victims in this case with the initials JRV and CC. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State, what are you asking for bond on count 1?
Your Honor, at this point in time, I'm going to be requesting for a $5,000 bond on count 1.
Okay,
Pretrial release with a GPS monitor. My concern, including but not limited to, it would appear now that Mr. Miles knows where the alleged victim resides. First off, he was, and I'm providing this information to the court because it adds to my concern about his ability to possibly follow no contact orders. I'm showing Mr. Miles was Baker acted in St. Lucie County both this year and last year. His criminal history as far as Broward, 2013 unlawful use of false name ID, a trespass in 2011, a felony criminal mischief in 2008 where he violated probation, and a grand theft auto in 2008 where he again violated probation.
all right, sir, where's 1328 Northeast 5th Ave, Apartment 1, Fort Lauderdale?
That's in Point St. Lucie.
No, it
My
says,
mom's house.
I have 3213 Southeast West Snow Road, Port St. Lucie.
Yes, that's my mom's house, Joanne Miles.
Okay, where's 1328 Northeast 5th Ave, Apartment 1? Is that an old address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your address, where you get your mail, do you have a mailing
Point
address?
St. Lucie.
Okay, which address do you use in Port St. Lucie, sir?
3213 Snow Road off of Snow Drive.
Southeast West Snow Road?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on, let me just change it.
Sure.
Yeah. Eric, what were you gonna say?
Your Honor, obviously they won't be able, pretrial would not be able to monitor him with the GPS in Port St. Lucie. What I would be requesting is that even with, in addition to any bond the court deems appropriate, that he still be supervised by pretrial and also pending verification. For instance, if it turns out that his residence is actually going to end up being in Broward or the Tri-County area, then certainly GPS could be an option at that point for the state to seek.
Okay, sir, can you, what are your thoughts on the $5,000 bond? And where are you going to live during the pendency of this case?
I'm gonna stay in Point St. Lucie with my mom, man.
Okay? All right, so any response to the $5,000 bond, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right.
And, Your Honor, I got my own language confused, and I'm not requesting pending verification, just 5,000 plus pretrial.
Okay, $5,000, no victim contact with JRV, CC, direct or indirect, standard pretrial, sir. What you're gonna need to do is report to pretrial services within 24 hours of your release. Mr. Romero,
Okay.
if you could give Mr. Miles a map, I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna have the clerk update your address, sir. If you don't get a notice 7 to 10 days when you get out of jail, you need to contact the clerk of court or go to browardclerk.org and look for your court date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Michael Dennis. Come on up, Mr. Dennis. And after Mr. Dennis is Terrence Harris. Hello, Mr. Dennis, how are you? All right, sir, you have a capious traffic for operating without a valid DL. $250 bond. Anybody wish to be heard?
Yes, Judge, I'm seeing Mr. Dennis. He wishes to resolve his 2015 case.
State,
State's offer being adjudication time served.
adjudication, time served.
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is your name Michael Lamar Dennis, Dennis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you want to waive your right to a trial, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Okay, how do you wish to plead to operating without a valid license? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Okay, the court's gonna accept your plea, finding it's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. The court is going to adjudicate you time served, your post-court costs are $293. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court served. You can't afford an attorney. One will be appointed. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck, Judge.
All right, next one's gonna be Taryn Harris. And then after Mr. Harris is Bobby Cohey.
Mr. Harris is here this morning.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Harris. How are you today, sir?
I'm okay.
All right, sir, you have a charge of panhandling on I-95 and Sterling Road.
Yes.
Bond is $25. You have failed to appear in court. Sir, you understand, you're not allowed to go onto the highways or right off the exit ramp, and you're not allowed to panhandle. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have a place to live?
Yes.
Is it 5723 Southwest 25th Ave,
Yes, ma'am.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
All right. Can someone tell me, State, do you know what his priors are?
One moment, Judge.
He has pending cases. Okay, sir, it appears that you keep going back there. So the best the court can do is the court will give you 3 days Broward County Jail with credit for time served if you want to resolve the case today.
Ma'am?
3 days Broward County Jail with credit for time served if you want to resolve the case today.
So that means I won't get RR?
No. You have cases pending. You keep doing the same thing.
I'll take that.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. My understanding, you wish to waive your right to a trial, Mr. Terrence Harris, Harris. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
ADHD, bipolar, schizophrenic.
Okay. Does your mental illness prevent you from understanding what's going on here today, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right. How do you wish to plead to right-of-way vendors, which is basically solicitation, which is panhandle?
No contest.
Gonna go back to, agree not to go back to I-95 and Sterling Road?
I won't go back, ma'am.
All right, you understand that if you come back there, the penalty is gonna be increased if you keep going back there. You understand that?
I understand.
All right, so no return to I-95 and Sterling Road. No more panhandling, sir. Court's gonna adjudicate, accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Court's gonna adjudicate you, give you 3 days, Broward County Jail, with credit for time served. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. No return, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you. Did I say 293? Okay, sir, it's $78 in court costs, not $293, okay? Thank you. Bobby Cohey, please.
He's in North Broward, Judge.
Okay. All right, are you Mr. Cohey, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have count 1, DUI with damage to property or person of another, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is the same thing, another $1,000 bond. Count 3 is DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. Count 4 is DUI, unlawful blood alcohol level greater than a .15. Actually, sir, you blew a .281 and a .288. That bond is set at $500. Count 5, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. So count 4 is set at $1,000, not $500. And then count 5 is not for magistrate. Neither is 6 or 7, which are basically RORs. Those are possession of an open container in a motor vehicle while driving, failure to drive in a single lane, and improper right turn. So your total bond, sir, is $3,500. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Coey has been living here since October. He's a part-time shoe salesman. He also receives disability. He has an associate degree in nursing. I do not believe he has a felony record. He does have a place to stay. I've been trying to reach his roommate this morning. I have not been able to do so as of yet. I would ask the court to set Mr. Coey over for tomorrow morning.
How about this afternoon? No? Why tomorrow morning, I'm just asking.
Go off the record?
Sure. All right, so we'll reset this for the AM docket tomorrow, okay?
Thank you, Judge. All right, Bobby, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll call.
The court does find probable
Yeah.
cause, okay? All right, let's go. Salazar, please. Okay, good morning, Mr. Salazar. You have an expired driver's license over 6 months. Bond is set at $25. What are we doing with this?
Judge, in speaking with Mr. Salazar, he already spoke to his wife. He believes something may have gone wrong if she hasn't posted his bond, because this is his first arrest, so maybe she doesn't know how to contact a bondsman. Judge, would you consider an ROR? He's 42 years old. He lives in Miami. He lives with his wife. He's a painter by trade, been doing that for about 8 years.
Is his address 17420 Northeast 7th Court, Miami?
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
Sheila, has his bond been posted?
Not yet.
You don't see anything?
No.
All right, State, any objection to ROR?
No.
Okay, court will ROR him, and the court does find probable cause. All right, sir, look for your court date in 7 to 10 days, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Juan Carlos Geraldo, please.
Bonded, Judge?
Adrian J. Dorset, please.
Mr. Dorset is approaching, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Dorset, good morning, sir. The
Good morning,
person
ma'am.
after Mr. Dorset is going to be John Carl Newsom. Mr. Dorset, you have 2 capious misdemeanors. Bond, your status in Division MQ, which is Judge Gottlieb, is going to be set in the division. We don't have a date yet. Bond is set for $250 on each count. unlawful license tag, sticker attached, and driving while license is suspended, sir. Anybody wish to be heard?
Yes, Judge, and speaking of Mr. Dorsey, he wishes to ask the court if you would consider resolving both counts today.
State,
State's offer be withholds on both.
withhold and court costs on both.
Wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Adrian J. Dorset, D-O-R-S-E-T-T?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Okay, ever been treated for a mental illness, sir?
No, ma'am.
You understand, sir, that if you get 3 convictions, and I don't know where you're at, within 5 years of driving while license is suspended, Driver's License Bureau can revoke your license for 5 years as a habitual traffic offender. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to discharge could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States. Do you understand that as well, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, understanding what I just explained to you, are you pleading guilty, not guilty, or no contest to unlawful license tag, sticker attached, sir, and driving while license is suspended?
No contest.
Okay, the court is going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. The court's going to withhold and impose court costs on count 1 only of $293. On count 2, the court is going to withhold adjudication. The court will take judicial notice of the time that you served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you, sir. Next one is John Carl Newsom, please, and then we have Kevin Lavetta Jackson.
Mr. Newsom is a medical reset, Judge.
All right, Kevin Lavetta Jackson, please.
Judge, on Newsom,
Yes,
can we
ma'am.
check count 2 and 3? Is there a charge on the findings?
I have possession of cannabis, count 1. 2 is disorderly conduct, breach of the peace. Count 3, Sheila is resisting without.
No. Newsom, John.
Oh,
John Newsom, I'm sorry. 2 and 3.
I have count 1 is a capious misdemeanor. 2 and 3 are municipal ordinances.
Does it have the charge on there?
Yeah, I think count 2 is panhandling and count 3 is not wearing a vest. You know that charge where they say you don't have the right vest on?
How long has this been a medical reset for these charges?
If you can, on count 2, if you can put the street soliciting, and on 3, the failure to wear the vest, it'll print up on the findings for tomorrow, because the charges are not on there.
We know what's going on with him? How long? Because he's been in custody since May 5th. On 2 municipal ordinances and this capious.
He's got a bump on his head. He's got a bandage in his booking photo. So I don't know the extent of what his injuries
All
might
right,
be.
let's see what happens tomorrow. We'll medical reset him. Thank you. Next one is Kevin Lavada Jackson, and then after that is Abraham Bell. Do we have Kevin Jackson, please?
I believe it's a medical reset, Judge.
Okay. Then we have Abraham Amari Bell.
He's in Conte, Judge.
Okay. All right, good morning. Are you Abraham Amari Bell, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I say your middle name right?
Yes, you did.
All right, good. All right, sir, you have an ad charge for robbery by sudden snatching. It says St. Lucie County, but it says Judge Merrigan. Does that mean?
St. Lucie is under all that. It means in addition to what's before the court.
Okay. All right, so there's no bond. It says charge 3, but then on the cover sheet, it says 35. Court does find probable cause. You are going before your division judge. Judge, is it Merrigan? Yes. Judge Edward Merrigan, sir, May 10th at 8:45 a.m. That's this Thursday. State, what are
Yeah,
we doing with bond?
Yeah, it's an ad charge, Your Honor. The 35 means it's the 35th total charge he's being held on everything he's being held on. The 3 is the charge on this specific case. Your Honor, he's being held on obviously multiple other bonds. I'm gonna be requesting on the robbery by sudden snatching a $2,500 bond.
And Mr. Linder is quite correct, Your Honor. Mr. Bell has some very, very high bonds on his other charges.
Any objection of 2,500?
I'd ask for 2,000, Judge.
Any objection, State?
That's fine.
Mr. Bell, you're gonna have to go in front of your division judge on a bond hearing to get these things reduced.
Okay, $1,999 on count on this capious felony. There's no return, sir. I don't know if someone told you this previously. Is it the target? Mr. Linder? No return to the target? What's the address?
Your Honor, I don't have the report in front of me. If I could rely on Your Honor.
Okay, sir, there's no return to the target at 11253 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Madam Clerk, can you make sure what the state gave me is attached? Thank you very much. Next one is Lawrence Kelvin Davis, please.
Please hear President Judge Amin.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Davis. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Fine, thanks. Mr. Davis, you have count 1, grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond set at $1,000. You have counts 2 and 3, sir. You do have probation violations. You are going to go before Judge William Howry on May 17th, which is a week from this Thursday, at 10 a.m. on the 2 no bond holds. The court does find probable cause, and the court is going to order, sir, no return to the target located at address 11253 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Considering as a no bond hold on his VOPs, Judge will defer argument to be heard in front of his division judge.
Okay, court's gonna set bond on count 1 at $999. Good luck to you, sir. Next one is Zachary Jordan Wolf, and then after that is Kenneth Johnson. Hello, Mr. Wolf, how are you?
Good, thank you.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you have count 1, reckless driving, first offense, $100 bond. Count 2 is resisting an officer without violence. It's essentially an ROR. There's no bond attached to that. And the same for count 3, driving with a suspended or revoked license DL for failure to pay child support. You do have counts 4, 5, and 6, sir. You have no bond hold. You are going before your division judge, Judge Michael Rothschild, on May 10th, which is this Thursday, at 8:30 a.m. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $100 bond or any special conditions?
Considering Judge is on probation, no bond hold, not at this time, Judge.
Okay, $99 on count 1. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. Kenneth Bernard Johnson, please.
North Broward.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, good morning, sir.
Would waive formal reading of the charges.
All right, we're going to waive formal reading of the charges. The court does find probable cause unless I hear an objection.
Well, Your Honor, and I'll concede. I don't know if count 1 was a misbook, but noting even in the officer's report in the second to last paragraph where she specifically writes out what he's being charged with, she did not mention, the deputy did not mention petty theft.
All right, so no PC on count 1. So, and he's going to be ROR'd anyway.
Yep.
All right, so we have count 2 is a $100 bond. Count 3 and 4, we have no bond attached to that. Count 5, we have no bond attached to that. Count 6, we have no bond attached. He does have a probation violation, a no bond hold. You are going this Thursday before your division judge before Judge Edward Merrigan at 8:45 a.m.
And you're-
Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $100 bond or any other conditions?
In light of the no bond hold, Judge, no, but I will be calling your family, Kenneth.
And, Your Honor, based on in the totality of the circumstances, Your Honor, on count two, I'm going to be requesting a $2,500 bond in total, and obviously no return to either of these locations listed, and no contact with the alleged victims, and no contact with any employees of these businesses.
Judge, I don't believe Mr. Johnson has any desire to have any contact with the victims in the case. I think that bond is a little excessive. It's going to have to be addressed in front of Judge Merrigan anyway because of the no bond hold.
Okay, sir, you're not to return to 533 East Sample Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Deerfield Beach. Okay, the court is going to set his bond at $999 on count one. Thank you.
On count two, you mean?
I mean count two. Did I do that on two? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Joseph Lee McFadden. Good luck to you, sir. Joseph Lee McFadden, please.
Should be North Broward.
All right. North Broward. Good morning, sir. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Unless I hear an objection, bond is set at $1,000, sir. You're not to return to the Home Depot, which is located at 1701 West Oakland Park Boulevard. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Defense?
Judge, I did not have an opportunity to speak with Mr. McFadden before court. Can you afford a $1,000 bond, Mr. McFadden?
No, I need to be my wife's supposed to be having a baby by the 10th of this month.
I'm sorry?
I think
I said my wife's about to have a baby by the 10th of this month. I need to be as possible.
Okay. Are you taking any medication right now, Mr. McFadden?
No, sir.
How long have you been living where you live now?
2 years, sir.
Who do you live with?
My mother.
And do you work?
No, sir.
Are you receiving disability?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever failed to appear in court before?
No, sir.
Are you able to make any kind of monetary bond? Any kind of money you can come up with to bond out?
No, sir, I cannot.
Mom have any money? Any other family members or friends?
No, sir.
Judge, depending on Mr. McFadden's criminal history, I'd ask the court.
It has it at the bottom of the PC. The officer did it.
Oh, I see. You're
It has
right, yes.
99, robbery. It has a 1990 case, 1990 theft, grand theft, petty theft.
It's all pretty dated, Judge.
I agree.
There are more recent priors.
There are?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what are they?
2015 possession of methamphetamine, 2015 possession of PVP. Those are the most recent. He does have a prior failure to appear. He's got a warrant at a date on a traffic matter. Your Honor, based on the totality of the circumstances, I wouldn't necessarily have an objection to pretrial release. I would ask that it be verified by pretrial first, though.
What's your address, Mr. McFadden?
2205 Northwest 6th Place.
McFadden?
Did you say 2205 Northwest 6th Place?
Yes, number
Yes,
2.
sir.
Okay.
Apartment 2, sir, Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand that if you return to this Home Depot, sir, 1701 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Oakland Park, you are going to be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
7.
Okay.
Keep going down.
Okay, standard pretrial release pending verification. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Calvin Ridley.
I'm here, President Main Judge.
Okay. Okay, good morning, Mr. Ridley. How are you? Mr. Ridley, yep.
Good morning.
Good morning. I know you're tired. Sir, you have a grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond set at $1,000. Court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no return, sir, to the Home Depot at 750 University Drive, Coral Springs, Florida. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you return there, sir, you're gonna get arrested. So don't go back there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you make the $1,000 bond?
No, ma'am.
All right, what are we doing with this, Mr. Romero?
Judge, he's going to be asking Your Honor to consider releasing him on pretrial release. At this time, he's looking for work. Unfortunately, he was let go from his previous job. He was working for a plumbing company. He was working there for about 6 months. Right now, he's 26 years old. Unfortunately, he's homeless. However, he does have a mailing address of a friend where he can receive notices from the court, and that would be in Pompano, Susie. He's requesting, Judge, for Your Honor to release him on pretrial release.
All right, give me the friend's address, please.
Wait, 250 West Sample Road. Is that a house or apartment? What's the apartment number?
B 224.
B is in boy? Yeah. 224. Okay, what city? And what's the zip code? 33064. Judge, it is 250.
I have it.
What?
I used to stand up on
What's his friend's name?
Stephanie Stone.
Stephanie Stern?
Spell Stern, S-T-E-R-N.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, so what are you asking for?
Pre-trial release, Judge.
I'd object. I don't believe he's a good candidate. He's been to prison out of the state of Louisiana as recently as 2015 and had his parole revoked, and that was on felony theft charges, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation.
Judge, I believe Mr. Ridgely is advising me that was a couple of years ago, and I believe from what he advised me, his last contact with law enforcement was about a year ago, Judge.
Charge bad. Had to dismiss all charges.
Does he own a Volkswagen Jetta?
No, he does not, Judge.
You still take the paperwork, and the tech is going on schedule.
Okay, court's gonna do standard pretrial release. If he doesn't show up, he's gonna have a warrant for his arrest. Does he work? Does he work?
No, he does
Romero,
not.
I'm not done.
Actively looking for employment, Judge.
All right, I want him to show up 2 times a month in person, calling in 2 times a week. Thank you.
So you'll be let go.
He's to show up, he's to report, which
After report, then you'll be released early enough.
he's gonna report within 24 hours. Report 2 times a month in person. You know what, let me write month on there. Thank you. And he's to call in 2 times a week. All right, Ladarius Grayson, please.
Grayson's approaching.
Good morning, Mr. Grayson. You have an Ada County hold. It's actually not for magistrate, but I just wanted to let you know that's out of Miami-Dade for resisting without stalking VOP criminal mischief. Bond set at $10,000. Count 2 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no return to the Macy's at 8,000 University Drive. Is that that's in Plantation? Okay, sir, do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
And if you go back there, what do you think happens?
Be arrested.
Okay, so don't go back there to the Macy's at 8,000 University Drive, Plantation, Florida, sir. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Judge, I believe the out-of-county hold from Dade County.
It's actually $10,000 bond.
Right, the out-of-county $10,000 bond is from Dade County, Judge. I'd ask you at this time, he's going to try and ask his roommate, but his roommate's unemployed at this time. to post bond on count 2 so that Dade County can come and pick him up. I'd ask you to consider reducing it from $1,000 to $100 bond so that he could try and already go to Dade County and see how he can get released. He obtained employment at AMC Theater. He's been there for about 1 week, making about $9.75. He wants to try and get out as soon as possible so he doesn't risk losing his employment.
Your Honor, I'm gonna ask that the court keep the bond at $1,000. It appears he's on probation out of the case out of Dade County on some very serious offenses. This is an additional basis for violation of his probation, and I don't believe it's really warrants a reduction in bond, considering it's a felony offense.
Okay, court's gonna keep the $1,000 bond in place, no return to the Macy's. Thank you, sir. Darius Glenn Grace, please. Good morning, Mr. Grace. You have resisting without violence, $100 bond. You do have a no bond hold for your probation violation. You are gonna be going before your division judge, Judge Michael Rothschild, this Thursday, May 10th at 8:30 a.m. Pending that hearing, you are going to be held pursuant to Judge Rothschild's instructions, or is this a 948 violation?
The no bonds on the 948.
Okay, so you're going to be held no bond on count 2. Count 3 is pedestrian failure to cross in crosswalk is actually not for magistrate, and you do have says violation of probation, not for magistrate. Says ROR. I don't know, is that out of another? No, that's gotta be out of here.
Yeah, Judge Rothschild signed a VOP warrant prior to this alleged incident occurring.
Okay. And then you have a capious misdemeanor. I don't know when you're going to court on that. Bond is set at $100. That's a resisting an officer without violence. That's a capious summons. Just verify your address, sir. Is it, we don't have an address. Do you have an address, sir?
Yes.
What's your address?
Yep.
5890 Northwest 21st Street. Out of here, Philly.
Is there any apartment number?
No.
Okay. All right, so anybody want to be heard with regard to bond on count 1 or 2? I'm sorry, 1 or 5? All right, $99 on 1, $99 on 5. Good luck to you, sir. May 10th, Judge Rothschild. How you doing? Who's up there this week? Oh, boy. All right, thanks. If you need me to sign something, let me know. Okay. We're going to be done here soon, so if you do have some. Rodney Steffens?
He's here, Major.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You have a retail theft, more than $300. Coordinate with others. Bond set at $1,000. The court is going to order no return, sir, to the Sprint store located at 3796 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Deerfield Beach. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What happened, sir? Do you think happened, sir, if you return there?
I'll be back in jail.
That's right. You're going to be arrested.
It'll be a worse consequence.
So don't return to the Sprint store, sir, 3796 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Deerfield Beach, Florida. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
No, Judge.
I'm waiting for the state. They're talking to consignment. State.
Sorry, Judge. Your Honor, Mr. Stevens is out right now on bond for a petty theft. His history also includes another theft, 2015, couple unlawful use of false name IDs. More seriously, he has federal prior 2016 out of Georgia for mail fraud. He was sentenced to 21 months in federal prison to be followed by a supervised release, which he violated last year.
So what is it you're asking for, State? They
Yep.
agreed of $1,000 bond.
Yeah, well, I'd be, I'd be asking for a bond increase considering he's out on a theft offense and he has federal prior for a similar type of, behavior, Your Honor. I'd be asking for a $2,500 bond.
Defense, any response?
Judge, these are nonviolent. He's out on a misdemeanor offense. He's been here 26 years old. At this time, he's working at a labor pool. So whenever he can get employment, as you know, Judge, you get paid by the day. It's about $50 a day for. So right now, he barely he gave me the phone number of his mother. What he advised me that his mother's going to be able to barely afford the $1,000. So Judge, we'd ask you to leave the standard bond in place.
Okay, court's gonna set the bond at $2,000 on count one. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. Stephen Pascal, please.
Can I see your doctor real quick?
Mr. Pascal, I think he's sleeping back there. Mr. Romero, who's back there sleeping?
Mr. Pascal is approaching.
Okay.
Sorry.
Morning, Mr. Pascal.
Good.
All right, you have count one, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count two is obtain possession of credit card by authorized provider under $300, $100 bond. Count three is an out-of-county hold for felony. There's no bond attached to that. Counts 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are court orders of juvenile. You're going to be held no bond on those. And that's also for 9, 10, 11, and 12. They're also court order juveniles. You're going to be held no bond. Anybody wish to be heard on probable cause? All right, the court does find probable cause. Does anybody wish to be heard? Mr. Linder, let's start with you on count one.
Yes, Judge. Your Honor, based on the allegations and the nature of the charges he's already being held on his juvenile cases and that they're similar, I'd be requesting a $5,000 bond on count one.
Okay, sir, the court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case with the initials SJM. Direct or indirect, sir, means no calling, texting, in-person contact, nothing on social media, and no contact through third parties. That includes texting, writing, and all that stuff. No contact whatsoever. Do you understand?
You understand? Yes? Yes, ma'am.
All right, I hear an affirmative from Mr. Pascal. Defense?
Judge, Mr. Pascal's in no way going to be able to afford the $5,000. He's 18 years old at this time. He's going to school. He goes to Maverick High School. Judge, he's not employed. He lives in Lauderhill with his aunt. His aunt is on disability. Judge, considering the no bond holds, I would ask you to consider setting a $500 bond on count one. And I'd also ask you to sign a photo order allowing us to photograph Mr. Pascal's injuries.
Okay, court will sign a photo order. This is what the court's going to do. The court has reviewed all the documents and has a concern. There's also another alleged victim with the initials HSD.
Let me see your document real quick. I'm sorry.
Any other victims?
I believe it's just SJ and
I have two.
yeah, I believe that's it, Judge.
Okay, court's going to set bond at $999 on count one. Count two, the court's going to set bond at $99. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Okay, is that it, Mr. Romero? See you at 1 o'clock.
I think we have.
Judge, I believe there was one more, but it was Mr. David Cz on page 20.
Yeah, he bonded.
Okay, bonded. Well, we actually have David Markhill.
What page?
Again?
David Markhill, North Broward.
Okay, let's just
See you
check.
today at 1, Judge.
All right, see you at 1.
Yeah.
North Broward, David Markhill. I don't know why they keep doing these forms, Miss Jackson. David Hill is a medical reset, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
They keep redoing them.
Your Honor, Brian, I just want to approach and let the judge.
I mean, is that why they always do it? All right, well, the bottom you gotta attach on there. It came off. Thank you. All right, we're off the record. Mr. Romero.
Oh, he's gone.
Okay.